nationality amongst existing stateless populations, and we have various projects going on in this region focusing in on that. So in Thailand, Malaysia, and the Philippines in particular, we have projects working with governments and civil society in that regard. And then the last action, improve quantitative and qualitative data on stateless populations.
This is the Gatanio Foundation. It's an Aceh-based organization. So I'm the international director, and Manti is the director at Aceh. Actually, the intention of the local authorities and local actors more generally to respond.
This regional question. But if they were, that they ought to grant the nationality to the child, and one can infer from the Convention on the Rights of the Child that that ought to be the case. But there's no consensus on that.
My name is Lillian Fan. I am a research associate at the Overseas Development Institute, and I'm also the international director of the Gatanio Foundation, which is based in Aceh. I have found this meeting incredibly useful in terms of bringing together different partners from different parts of the region to interact with UNHCR as well as other partners, IFRC and ICVA, to really try to understand better how we can all be working together in a much more constructive manner to address ongoing crises and also to prepare for crises in the future, to discuss a range of really critical issues, and namely these two issues on protection at sea and the crisis in irregular migration of maritime movements, as well as the issue of statelessness, which is, and both of them are incredibly important issues in our region. And it's sometimes, when you're operating in the field, just in your particular area, you're constantly responding to day-to-day needs and day-to-day crises. So it's incredibly useful to be able to step back from day-to-day operations or problems that you're dealing with at an everyday level, at the field or policy level, to be able to really have much more strategic, informed and substantive discussions on issues which are so critical, and share perspectives and share experiences amongst different partners. I think we've been able so far to really learn a lot from each other, and there's been a lot of sharing that's been going on, and I think it's been really instructive in terms of trying to find solutions together. I think the problems that we're facing, that we're discussing today, are very difficult problems, which no one agency could solve on their own.
And that will also connect to the point that was raised in some of our discussion, how we fight like the perceptions and the public attitude and the xenophobia that we are seeing in some of the countries, and particular Thailand was highlighted there.
We had some discussions about access and I guess the lack of it for NGOs and civil society to kind of operate with some of the people of concern that come off boats in this region, I think, develop and foster over a long time. In the absence of access, we sort of talked about all the different advocacy messages we'll want to put forward in a united and coordinated way.
I'm Amiha Nabueva from the Child Rights Coalition Asia. We work in 8 countries, mainly in Southeast Asia, and statelessness of children is a major concern of our organization. I have been very happy to attend the structured dialogue because it has been a very good source of updated information about the situation of refugees and statelessness, because we need to look for new ways to address the situation, and at the same time we need to maximize what we already have.
Anyway, the recommendations were framed in more or less the same way, so we will circulate a white paper in the hope of getting more buy-in and more action. That will include a status update on all of the recommendations. Keen has mentioned it. We have a table. We are aware of where states and other entities, including the UN, are on those 17 recommendations.
Whether it's in participatory assessments, whether it's in advocacy. So the recommendation would be greater engagement between UN agencies and civil society to examine the ways that we're going to engage, and as Dr. Sanoj has already mentioned, of course, including
populations affected themselves. And it's really important that the use of terminology and proxies in certain cases is very carefully used in order not to shut any doors that might otherwise be open.
สวัสดีค่ะ I'm Roy Sai Wongsuman. I'm working for Migrant Working Group Thailand, which is a local advocacy network advocating for migrant policy change in Thailand. We focus in the area of migrant rights, health, education, and legal personality. As working for the local organization, I think it's very important to have a platform that allows feedback, information exchange, and debate. We need collaborative approach and transformational views from different actors, and I think structured dialogue is one of the important platforms that allow local agencies to voice our concerns and to have a chance to find a concrete solution and action to improve humanitarian practice.
This was resonating in the whole discussion, which mentions that whenever the advocacy policies are made, it should be simple and understandable. A layman's perspective should be taken into account. So these are the outcomes which we